Okay, we're back for part 2 of the Sculptris tutorials. I'm going to be talking about some of the special features that each of the tools has, and I'm going to be talking about this technical tab right here and how to save your work. One of the things I didn't talk about is that you can choose the color of the modeling material you're using, so you could use a gray. I like this green metallic, it looks really good. I would avoid things like this metallic silver, or this water droplet, because it's hard to see exactly what you're sculpting. Who knows? I'm going to turn it back to the red wax. It's my favorite one to use. And as you can see, I did a little bit more work on our goblin that I was doing before. I'm going to talk about some of the tools that I want to use because I want to add some details. When I look under the nose, I think it needs like nostril holes. And this is how you do holes. When you click on any of the drawing tools or any of the other tools, when you click invert, that's the opposite function, and it, like clay, right? The clay digging tool, or the drawing tool usually squirts out clay. I can dig clay. So I've just made nostrils for our character. I could start to remove a little bit from his ears. Remember, I can always, smooth things out a little bit. I'll go back in there. Now, when I zoom in on the ear, it's hard to see. One of the things we can do is we can shift the model by clicking Alt and then grabbing on any of the black space. And that allows us to manipulate and move the model. I can stretch those things. I want that hole to look less like a circle and more organic, like an actual creature. We still have symmetry on, and we might want to make some changes that would change symmetry. So we are going to click the symmetry button and turn it off. And let's see what it does. I think I might add an earring on one side. Maybe I'll change his expression a little bit. I'm going to turn off symmetry. And it says this is typically a one-way operation. Okay, I guess so. I mean, I'll just click that and see what we have. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, draw an earring on his ear. Right there, and I might even use the grab tool and stretch it a little bit more and smirk it down like that to add a little bit more character, because we're not always so symmetrical, especially goblins. Might make that earlobe droopier a little bit more, and there we go. Now if we go ahead and turn back on symmetry, you're going to notice something that's going to happen. This will remove asymmetrical details, okay? I guess so. And what it did is it moved everything from the right side to the left side, and it copied it and made it mirror image again. What that means is if we were doing a sculpture like a pirate and you want to have an earring on one side and an eye patch on the other side and maybe a parrot on his shoulder, you need to complete the basic sculpting of the overall piece before you turn symmetry off. You would turn symmetry off and then add the earring, then add the eye patch that's going to be asymmetrical. Symmetry means it happens on both sides, and we want to do that for much of the sculpting and then change it up later. So we've got this model. Now he has two earrings. He's looking pretty cool. And I remember I can move it by Alt. I can also click Z, and what Z does is that when I'm rotating around, if I click Z, it'll snap it to one of the main directions. So there's the back, there's the side, left side, front. So rotating around and tapping Z can be useful. Each of the tools here has all these other functions. We can always invert many of the functions. So if you inflate something but click invert, it deflates things. What I'm going to do here is talk about the grab tool, because this is important. I'm going to grab, and let's say I want to make some horns. The model's just moving up and down. What we need to do if we were going to make some horns is we would have to turn off this button global, and that would allow us to make small horns. All right, so that's how you do that. If a tool is not behaving correctly, it is not working correctly, check to make sure that these boxes are not checked. Now we will want to have global later on when we talk about using multiple spheres to make a character, but for right now, if you're just trying to pull things around, uncheck that, uncheck the global there. Same thing goes for scale. Using that, you could scale the whole model, or like I said, you can scale parts of the model if you uncheck global. Checking global means that you are affecting the entire model. Okay, let's talk about how to save your model. This is important. When we go to save the model, we're going to go down here and we're going to save it. We're going to save it where we want to. I'm going to save it on the desktop, and I'm going to save it as Beau Goblin 1. Don't save it as Sculpture or Sculptris. Save it with the name of what you're doing in a 1. Now let's say that I do some more work on this because it's coming along. I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. I would go ahead and change it up, and then I would save it again as Beauchamp Goblin 2. You see what I'm saying? And so let's say let's go ahead and add something. We'll add some horns, and we have to turn off global again, right? Ooh, that looks good. I like where those are going. Maybe I'll put a crease around there. Okay, I like that. And now I can save it as Beau Goblin 2. Typically, I save a model after every major change that I make, everything that I kind of like, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to mess it up. I'll save it like that. So that's the saving. When you go to open a file, you have to open Sculptris first, then go to Open, and then find where it is, and that'll bring it up. You say New Scene, and it appears. Okay, so that's how you do that.